You stopped typing, you stopped chasing, you stopped checking if they were online. That was the moment, my friends. The whole game shifted, not in their favor, but in yours. You see, silence is not weakness. Silence is the move of someone who understands their worth. They thought your quiet meant you were fading away, that you were slowly disappearing into the background. But instead, your absence has become the loudest sound in their head. It echoes, it lingers, it follows them in the quiet moments when the distractions stop. In the beginning, they feel a strange relief, a false sense of freedom. It's like when a bird escapes from its cage, only to realize the world outside is harsher than it imagined. And over time, that freedom they thought they wanted starts to taste bitter. The sweetness of their little victory turns to dust, and it always begins with one dangerous thought. Why aren't they texting me? I want you to understand something here. Folks, human nature is a strange thing. People value you most when they feel the loss of you. When you were there all the time, sending the first message, checking up, keeping the connection alive, they didn't have to fight for you. You were like the sun, always rising, always there, taken for granted. But now the weather's changed. You pulled your light back, and suddenly they're standing in the cold. And trust me, nothing humbles a person faster than realizing the warmth they once ignored is gone. It's like water, my friends. When you're drowning in it, you want to push it away. But the second you're thirsty in the desert, that same water becomes the only thing you can think about. Right now, you are that water. They didn't want you when you were overflowing into their life, but now you're gone, and every drop of you feels rare. They replay your last conversation in their mind. They scroll through your pictures when no one's watching. They wonder if you're out there smiling with someone else. And the more they wonder, the more they feel that knot in their chest tightening. And here's the truth you need to hold on to. Your silence is not a punishment, it's a mirror. It shows them exactly who they are without you. No comfort, no safety, no one to remind them they matter. The mind hates uncertainty, and right now you've given them the greatest uncertainty of all, not knowing where they stand with you. That is powerful, that is leverage, and that is why you must never break it by reaching out first. My friends, the most stoic thing you can do is stay calm in the storm. You are not chasing, not begging, not trying to explain your worth. You are letting them feel it on their own, in the quiet, in the moments when the noise of the world fades and the only thing left is the memory of you. And here's the part they'll never tell you. They miss you already. Maybe they won't say it. Maybe their pride is too big. But deep down, they feel the absence like a missing heartbeat. And the longer you stay silent, the louder that missing heartbeat becomes. So remember this, distance is not your enemy, it is your weapon. You are teaching them the lesson they refused to learn when you were still there, that your presence was a gift, and gifts are not given twice. Hold your ground, keep your peace, trust the process, they will come back. And when they do, you will be the one holding all the power. Now, before you even think about moving on with your day, I want you to seal this moment. Not tomorrow, not later, right now. Go down to the comments and write these 4 words like you mean them. I am the power. Don't just type them, feel them, burn them into your mind. Because every time you write it, you're not just leaving a comment, you're declaring to yourself, to me, and to anyone who reads it, that you've stepped out of begging for attention and stepped into owning the room. And while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe, not just so you don't miss the next one, but because you're making a promise to yourself, you're not going back to the old version of you. Stay with me, my friends, because the next move, that's where it gets dangerous for them and unstoppable for you. Number 1. The first days, false victory in their mind. In those first days after you go silent, they convince themselves they've won. They'll tell themselves a story that makes them feel in control. They think, finally, I can breathe. Finally, I can live without all that attention. They imagine you're still out there, sitting by your phone, just one text away, still orbiting around them like you always did. My friends, this is the illusion the mind clings to when it thinks it has power. It assumes nothing has changed. But change has already begun. And here's the cruel truth that human psychology, and as Carl Jung would remind us, the unconscious mind always reveals. When someone believes they can have you anytime they want, they feel nothing. Comfort without effort breeds indifference, and indifference is the slow death of attraction. At first, it's easy for them to feel that false victory. They feel like the bird who finally flew out of the cage, soaring freely, not realizing that the skies aren't endless. They don't see the storm coming. They don't feel the hunger yet. But hunger always comes, and it comes when they least expect it. The mind adapts quickly to freedom when it's convinced it can always go back to the safety of the cage. But when that certainty is taken away, when they realize the door to you is no longer open, the ache begins. It's like the moment a child loses sight of their parent in a crowded place. They might not panic right away, but once they do, the fear is primal. In the back of their mind, questions start whispering. They're not loud at first, just little flickers. Why haven't I heard from them? Are they okay? Are they with someone else? The more they try to ignore those thoughts, the more persistent they become, because this is how the human mind works. It hates uncertainty. It will chase closure, even if it means swallowing pride. But for now, they're still clinging to the belief that you're waiting, that you'll crack first. That's why your silence in these first days is so powerful. It allows them to dig their own mental trap without you lifting a finger. They'll try to distract themselves. They'll go out with friends. They'll scroll endlessly on their phone. They'll even flirt with others just to feel like they've moved on. But here's the truth. They're not doing any of this because they're free of you. They're doing it to prove to themselves that they are. And that's where the seed of doubt starts to grow. Because every time they check their phone and don't see your name, they feel the tiniest sting. Not enough to admit it yet, but enough that it starts adding up day after day. This is where Jung's wisdom kicks in. The parts of ourselves we try to suppress always find a way to surface. They can pretend they're over you, but the shadow in their mind remembers the way you made them feel. And the more they try to deny it, the stronger it becomes. People think forgetting someone is an act of willpower, but in reality, the unconscious mind doesn't let go of something it hasn't fully processed. And you, my friends, have just interrupted their process. You've left them in limbo, and limbo is uncomfortable. Imagine it like this. You've been drinking the same coffee every morning for years. One day, without warning, the cafe is closed. At first, you shrug it off. You'll find another coffee shop, but days later you find yourself craving that exact taste, that exact smell, that exact feeling of routine, and nothing else satisfies it. That's what you've just done to them. You were their routine, their safety net, their guaranteed fix of validation. And now, nothing else tastes right. This is why those first days matter so much. You are setting the tone. You're showing them, without a single word, that you are not waiting by the door. You're not going to feed their ego on demand anymore. You've shifted the dynamic. And here's the secret they'll never admit to themselves. Deep down, they already know this silence is dangerous for them. They know that the longer it goes, the less control they have. They'll test themselves, thinking, I can go another day without hearing from them. But with each day that passes, it gets harder. And eventually, they'll start to wonder if you even think about them at all. That's the part that really eats at them. The idea that they're losing space in your mind. Because if they lose that, they lose everything. And this, my friends, is where you must hold the line. Because the temptation in these early days is to break the silence, to remind them you're still there, to make sure they don't forget you. But that is not how power works. Power is letting them forget just enough for it to hurt when the memory hits them again. Power is making them realize you're not the one who needs to reach out, they are. So when you feel that urge to type, to check, to peek at their online status, remember you're not in a race to get them back. You're in the art of letting their own mind do the work for you. And trust me, it will. They will feel it, they will notice it, and the ache will grow until it turns into action. Stay calm, stay in control. Don't break what's already working in your favor. They think they've won, but the truth, the game hasn't even started yet. You are not chasing anymore. You are the prize. You are the one that is rare. And rare things are never the ones doing the chasing. Write this in the comments right now. I am the prize. And don't just write it, own it. Let it remind you every time you see it that your silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. Press that like button, subscribe, and stay with me. Because the longer you hold this line, the faster they'll realize who really had the power all along. Number 2. The check-in habit they can't kill. Here's the thing, my friends. Silence does not erase curiosity. It amplifies it. Even if they don't send you a single text, don't think for a second they've erased you from their mind. No, what they do instead is far more telling. They start checking. Quietly, secretly, subtly. They check your social media. They check your mutual friends' posts. They check the places you used to go, and they won't admit it, not to you, and often not even to themselves. But every glance is proof that they haven't let you go. Curiosity is the seed of obsession, and by going silent, you've just watered it in the most dangerous way possible. This habit is almost primal. Human beings are wired to monitor the things they feel they've lost, especially if they think it might still slip through their fingers for good. Carl Jung spoke of the unconscious pull toward that which we can't fully understand, and that's exactly what's happening here. You've become a question they can't answer, and questions without answers itch at the mind until they demand attention. They may have been perfectly content, ignoring you when you were easy to read, predictable, always available. But now you're a locked door, and human nature cannot resist trying to peek through the keyhole. Think about it like this. When a store is always open, you walk in without much thought. But the moment it suddenly closes and the windows are covered, people start pressing their faces to the glass, wondering what's happening inside. That's you now. They can't see in, they can't get updates on demand, so they start searching for scraps. They notice a new picture you post, and suddenly they're zooming in. Who took it? Where was it? Who were you with? They see you liked something online, and now they're wondering what it means. They run into a mutual friend and ask a casual question about you, pretending it's just curiosity, when in reality, it's hunger. And here's the twist. They'll act like they're above all this. They'll pretend they're not paying attention. They might even tell themselves, "I'm just checking to see how they're doing," as if it's innocent. But that's the mind trying to hide the truth. When someone takes the time to keep tabs on you, it means they care far more than they're willing to admit. This is what your silence does. It forces them into these tiny acts of quiet desperation. And each one only deepens the hold you have on them. They may check once, then tell themselves, "I'm not going to look again." But the mind doesn't work that way. The more you try to resist curiosity, the stronger it becomes. Psychologists call this the white bear problem. Tell someone not to think about a white bear, and it's all they can think about. Tell someone not to look at your profile, not to wonder where you've been, and suddenly it's the only thing their mind wants to do. Your silence has made you the white bear they can't stop imagining. And here's where you need to stay strong. The temptation is to throw them a bone, to post something aimed at them, to let them see you're still aware of them. Don't. The power of this stage is in their guessing. The moment they think they've figured you out, the obsession weakens. You want them in the dark, replaying the same questions, getting no satisfying answers. That's what makes them keep coming back, keep checking, keep wondering. So the next time you feel like you've been forgotten just because they haven't texted, remember, they might not be showing up in your inbox, but they're showing up in the shadows. They're watching, they're searching, they're noticing every move you make. And the longer you let that curiosity grow without feeding it, the more it turns into something far stronger, a need. Hold the line, my friends. Let them check. Let them wonder. Let them spiral deeper into their own curiosity until they can't take it anymore. You're not the one chasing. You're the one being chased in silence. And soon, that silence will break them. Write this in the comments. They're still watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because we're only just beginning to make them feel the weight of your absence. Number 3. The echo effect. Every quiet day feels louder. The silence you've given them isn't just empty space, my friends. It's an echo chamber. And in that echo chamber, every single day without your voice, without your presence, grows louder and heavier in their mind. It's strange how the absence of words can carry more weight than 1,000 conversations. The less they hear from you, the more their own mind starts filling in the blanks. And here's the cruel trick of human psychology. When the mind has no facts, it invents them. And it rarely invents stories that make us feel secure. That selfie you posted, they stare at it longer than they'd like to admit. They zoom in, they analyze the background. They ask themselves, who took that picture? Were they smiling at someone else? Were they laughing together before it was taken? They scroll past it, but then they come back. They tell themselves it's nothing, but it's already too late. The image is burned into their mind, and every time they see your face in that smile, it plays like a loop they can't switch off. Your happy mood, oh, that's even worse for them, because happiness without them is a threat. It's a mirror reflecting one thing they don't want to face. You can be okay without them, and not just okay, you can be better. They wonder, what's changed? Who's giving them that glow? What are they doing that makes them so at peace? And the more they ask these questions, the more that tiny spark of insecurity grows into something far more dangerous. Fear. This is what I call the echo effect. Every quiet day, every untouched message thread, every story they watch from a distance, it bounces back at them with questions they don't want to answer. And the thing about echoes, they get louder the longer they're left unanswered. When you were still speaking to them, still giving them access to your thoughts, there was no room for these echoes. They didn't have to wonder what you were thinking. They knew. And knowing kept them comfortable. But now you've removed that comfort, and the mind abhors a vacuum. That empty space gets filled with doubts, with mental images, with scenarios where they're losing you to someone else. Think of it like a hallway with no furniture, no distractions. Every step you take sounds louder, sharper. Your silence is that hallway, and they can't get out of it, even when they try to distract themselves, even when they laugh with someone else. The quiet comes back at night, when the phone is still, when the lights are off, and there's nothing to do but think. And in that moment, my friends, your absence screams. Carl Jung often spoke about the shadow, the part of us we don't want to face, the truth we keep hidden even from ourselves. Your silence is forcing them to confront their shadow. That shadow is whispering, you weren't as important to them as you thought. They might actually move on without you. You might have made a mistake letting them go. And once the shadow starts talking, it's hard to shut it up. Here's the beauty of it. You don't have to lift a finger to make this happen. You're not posting with the intention to hurt them. You're simply living. And the more you live without them, the more those echoes in their mind grow. That's why you must resist the temptation to fill the silence. Let the echo do the work for you. Let it keep bouncing until it's so loud they can't ignore it anymore. The truth is, every quiet day isn't just time passing, it's pressure building, pressure to check on you, pressure to reach out, pressure to see if the door is still open, and when that pressure becomes unbearable, they will make the move. Not because you begged, not because you chased, but because your silence made them realize something they didn't want to believe. You were never the one losing anything. So hold your ground, stay in your lane, keep letting the days stack up, because each one makes the echo louder, sharper, and harder for them to ignore. They'll feel it in their chest, they'll see it in their dreams, and eventually they'll act on it. Write this in the comments: my silence is power. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because the longer you let the echo grow, the faster they'll break under the sound of their own thoughts. Number 4. Memory inflation. They remember you better than you were. Here's the truth, my friends. The human brain is a master storyteller, but it's not an honest one. Over time, it rewrites the past, not to reflect reality, but to protect emotions. And when you're gone from their daily life, that rewrite begins. Your flaws, the little things they once complained about, the moments they used to use as excuses to push you away, those start to fade. They're no longer sharp in their memory. Instead, they begin to blur, like old pencil marks being erased by the hand of time. But your best moments? Oh, those become crystal clear. They play like a highlight reel in their mind, over and over, each frame more golden than the last. The nights they ignored your messages, the times they were cold or distracted, those get pushed to the back of their memory. The mind conveniently replaces them with the nights you stayed up talking for hours, laughing about nothing and everything. It's not that the bad never happened, it's that the mind, in missing you, edits the story to make losing you hurt more. Carl Jung understood this well. The psyche holds onto the parts of the past that feed the emotional narrative it wants to believe. And when someone starts missing you, their mind doesn't dwell on what made them leave. It clings to what makes them want to come back. It's like looking through an old photo album. You don't remember the weather on the bad days, the arguments, the boredom. You remember the vacations, the birthdays, the moments when you felt alive together. That's the trick memory plays. And in your absence, those memories get inflated, dressed in brighter colors, surrounded by warmer light. You become larger than life, not because you've changed, but because their perspective has. They start to think, maybe I didn't appreciate them enough. Maybe they were better for me than I realized. Maybe I was wrong to let them go. That maybe is dangerous. It's the seed that grows into regret. And here's the beautiful irony. The very flaws they once used as their excuse to treat you casually are now the quirks they'll remember fondly. The things that made you human now make you unforgettable. Imagine a musician leaving the stage after a show. While they're performing, the crowd is distracted, checking their phones, chatting, stepping out for a drink. But the second the music stops and the lights go down, people start remembering their favorite moments from the set. The silence after the music makes the performance seem better than it felt in the moment. That's what's happening to you right now. They didn't notice your worth while they had constant access to it, but now that the show is over, you've become the headliner in their mind. And here's the best part. You don't have to do anything to make this happen. Your absence is the artist repainting the picture of you in their mind, and the longer you stay away, the more vivid that picture becomes. They're not remembering you as you were, they're remembering you as their idealized version, the one they've built from selective memory. And that version, that's the one they'll want back. So don't ruin the masterpiece by rushing in to remind them of the real, everyday you. Let their mind keep painting. Let the legend grow, because when they finally come back, and they will, they won't just be chasing you. They'll be chasing the version of you their own heart created. Write this in the comments: I am unforgettable. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because the longer you stay silent, the bigger the legend becomes, and the harder they'll fall when they realize they can't have it back. Number 5. The jealousy spike, when they see you've moved on. Jealousy is a quiet ember, my friends. It can sit there, unnoticed, for days, weeks, even months. But the moment it gets oxygen, it bursts into a flame that's almost impossible to put out. And nothing fans that flame faster than the sight, or even just the whisper that you might be moving on without them. All it takes is one casual comment from a mutual friend. "Oh, I saw them last weekend. They looked amazing." They hear it, they smile politely, but inside, that ember ignites. Because it's not just about how you looked, it's about the realization that you're still shining, maybe even brighter, without them. Then they see it. Maybe it's a post on your social media, a candid shot of you laughing, maybe with people they don't recognize, and suddenly their mind starts racing. Who took that picture? Why do they look so happy? Was that smile meant for someone else? This isn't just casual curiosity anymore. This is fear wearing the mask of jealousy, because the idea of you smiling like that with someone new isn't just uncomfortable, it's unbearable. You see, when they believed you were still available to them, even in silence, they could rest in the illusion of control. They thought, if I ever want to go back, I can. But now it's dawning on them that you might not be there if they reach out. And that thought, my friends, is like a knife twisting in the gut. It's not just fear of losing you, it's the fear of you giving what they took for granted to someone else. Carl Jung once said that what we resent most in others often reflects something we're afraid of in ourselves. Their jealousy isn't just about you, it's about the mirror you're holding up to them. Your laughter without them reminds them of the truth they don't want to face. They are replaceable, and you are capable of joy that has nothing to do with them. That realization can break even the most prideful person. Think of it like this. They were holding onto a safety net, thinking they could fall back into your arms whenever they wanted. But now they're looking down and realizing that net is gone. In its place is someone else. Maybe not even a romantic someone, but a friend, a new circle, a new life. And in their mind, it doesn't matter whether you're with a new partner or not. What matters is that your world no longer revolves around them. That's when the jealousy spike hits full force. And here's the thing about jealousy. It's not rational. It doesn't care about facts. It's not interested in logic. It's an emotional reaction that can turn even the calmest person into a restless, sleepless mess. They'll replay your pictures, stalk your friends' updates, and search for clues that confirm or deny their fears. They'll start checking more often, reaching out to mutual friends more, because they can't stand the thought of being replaced. And you don't need to do anything to provoke it. You don't need to post staged photos or send mixed signals. The best thing you can do is simply live, authentically, happily, and without a single ounce of energy spent on them. Because every time they see you glowing without them, that jealousy grows. And the more it grows, the closer they come to breaking their own silence. Remember this, jealousy, in this case, is not your enemy. It's their mind turning against them. It's the emotional proof that you mattered more than they admitted. And once they've felt it, they can't unfeel it. That's when the chase begins. Write this in the comments. They'll regret losing me. Press that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because this jealousy spike is only the beginning of their unraveling, and you're about to see just how far they'll go to get you back. Number 6. The regret loop. Why didn't I hold on? Regret, my friends, is one of the most unforgiving prisons the mind can create. Once they step inside, it locks from the inside, and the key is nowhere to be found. This is where they are now. They start replaying the ending over and over, like a movie they can't stop watching. Only this time, they're not watching for entertainment. They're studying it, analyzing every scene, asking themselves, why did I say that? Why didn't I just hold on? What was I thinking letting them slip away? At first, it's just an occasional thought, a passing memory when something reminds them of you. But regret has a way of multiplying in silence. It's like a song stuck in their head, looping endlessly. Only this song has no melody, just questions with no answers. The longer they go without hearing from you, the deeper they fall into that loop. And here's the beauty of it. Your silence is the fuel. Every day you don't text, every day you don't reach out, you're feeding that loop without lifting a finger. Carl Jung spoke about the power of the unconscious mind to torment us when something is unresolved. That's exactly what's happening here. They never closed the book on you, not properly, and the human mind hates unfinished stories. So they start imagining alternate timelines. In one version, they stayed and worked it out. In another, they said the right words at the right time. In yet another, they never let you walk away in the first place. And each version leaves them with the same burning question. Why didn't I choose that ending instead? It's like watching a fire burn from a distance, knowing it's too late to put it out. The damage is already done, but that doesn't stop them from thinking about how they could have stopped it if they'd just acted sooner. Regret isn't just about losing you, it's about realizing they were the one who lit the match. And the loop is vicious. It doesn't let them rest. Even in moments of distraction, it's there in the background. They'll be laughing with friends and suddenly remember a night they made you laugh. They'll be lying in bed and suddenly recall the warmth of your voice. And instead of these memories bringing comfort, they bring a sharp sting because now they're attached to loss. Loss they caused, loss they could have prevented. What they don't realize is that this loop is tightening its grip with every quiet day. You're not reminding them of the bad times. You're not reopening old wounds. You're letting them do that themselves. You're giving them space to see the truth, that they didn't lose you because of fate or timing or bad luck. They lost you because they didn't hold on when they had the chance. And once that realization fully takes root, it changes everything. Regret makes people reconsider their pride. It makes them question the choices they thought were right in the moment. It makes them want to go back and undo what can't be undone. That's when they start thinking, what if I just texted them? What if I reached out? What if it's not too late? My friends, this is why you must hold the line. The regret loop is your ally. It's not something you interrupt. It's something you let run its course until they can't stand it anymore. Because when they finally do break, it won't be for casual conversation. It will be because the loop has drained them dry, and reaching out to you feels like the only way to make it stop. Write this in the comments. They'll wish they stayed. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because the regret loop is only getting tighter, and sooner or later, it's going to snap. Number 7. The breaking point. I need to reach out. There comes a point, my friends, when silence stops being a background hum and becomes a weight pressing on their chest. At first, they could live with it. At first, they told themselves, I'm fine, I don't need to talk to them. But silence is a patient hunter. Day after day, it creeps closer until one morning, one evening, one restless night, it's sitting right there beside them, whispering, reach out. They pick up their phone, they scroll up to your name, they just stare at it for a while, as if the letters might speak back to them. Their thumb hovers. They type something, they stop, they delete it, they type again, they erase again. It's not that they don't have anything to say, it's that they have too much. Pride tells them to keep it light, casual, as if this isn't eating them alive. But their heart wants to pour it all out, to say, I miss you, I was wrong, I can't stop thinking about you. And that war between pride and desire is exhausting. The tension is unbearable. It's the kind of tension that makes them pace the room, that makes them check the time every 5 minutes, as if that will change anything. And deep down, they know something they don't want to admit. They've lost control. When they could ignore you, they felt powerful. Now, ignoring you feels impossible. Every moment without you is another drop of water on their forehead, slow and relentless, wearing them down. Carl Jung once said that until we make the unconscious conscious, it will direct our lives, and we will call it fate. Right now, their unconscious has taken over. They think they're choosing to check your profile, choosing to type and erase messages, choosing to wonder what you're doing, but it's not choice anymore. It's compulsion. They've been pulled into your gravity, and it's too late to escape. And here's the fascinating part. This isn't just about missing you, it's about missing the way they felt when they were with you. Your presence gave them a certain stability, a certain validation, a certain meaning they can't seem to find anywhere else. And now, in your absence, they've realized that all their distractions, other people, new hobbies, endless scrolling, aren't filling the space you left. That emptiness is louder than their pride, so they sit there, phone in hand, knowing that one message could crack the silence, but also knowing that once they send it, they're admitting something big. You have the upper hand now. That's what makes this breaking point so intense. It's not just the decision to reach out, it's the surrender that comes with it. They're surrendering the game they thought they were winning. They're admitting, without saying it outright, you were worth more than I realized. I need you back in my life. And you don't have to lift a finger. This moment belongs entirely to them. It's their pride that's crumbling, their composure that's slipping, their control that's evaporating. You just keep living, keep glowing, keep being the version of yourself that they now see as rare. Because when they finally do break and send that message, it won't be out of boredom. It will be because they've fought every reason not to, and still, you were the only answer left. Write this in the comments. They'll break first. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because once they hit this breaking point, my friends, it's no longer a matter of if they'll reach out, but when. Number 8. They always circle back. Here's the final truth, my friends. Absence doesn't just create space, it rewires the way they see you. Human beings are hardwired to crave what they can't easily have, and the moment you stepped back, the balance of power shifted forever. When you were available, their attention wandered. But now that you've become scarce, every instinct they have is pulling them toward you. It's basic psychology, but it feels like magic to them. They don't understand why they're thinking about you so much, why your face keeps showing up in their mind when they're trying to focus on something else. They just know the pull is real, and it's getting stronger. At first, they'll try to fight it. They'll distract themselves with other people, with work, with meaningless scrolling. But attraction built in absence is like a magnet. It ignores distractions. Every time they think they've moved on, something reminds them of you. A song, a smell, a random joke someone tells that sounds like one you once made. And each reminder adds weight to the pull. Weeks pass, maybe months, but you remain there, in the background, like a thread they can't cut. Carl Jung spoke about the way the unconscious always seeks completion. In their mind, you are unfinished business, and unfinished business demands resolution. They may not consciously admit it, but every unanswered question, every unspoken word, every unexplored what if keeps them circling back to you. Because that's the thing about mystery. It doesn't fade with time, it grows. The less they know about where you are now, what you're doing, and how you feel, the more their imagination runs wild. And imagination is dangerous. It paints you in colors they can't find anywhere else. Eventually, resisting that pull feels impossible. They'll justify it to themselves. I just want to see how they're doing, or maybe I should just clear the air. But underneath all that rationalizing is the real reason. They want back in. They want to feel what they felt when they had you, but this time they want it more because they've lived without it. They've learned what it's like to be on the outside. And once someone has tasted the difference, the hunger is permanent. And here's where your true power lies. When they circle back, you hold the choice. You decide whether you open the door or keep it closed. You decide whether they get a seat at your table again or whether they have to watch from a distance. They might have been the one to walk away before, but now they're the one knocking, and you're the one with the lock and key. So, my friends, don't doubt for a second that your absence is working. Don't mistake silence for being forgotten. The pull is already in motion. It's slow, it's steady, and it's inevitable. They will come back. Not because you begged, not because you chased, but because the mystery you've created will eat at them until they break. And when they do, they'll be stepping into a world where you are no longer the one waiting. You are the one choosing. And so, my friends, here's where it all comes together. Your silence, your strength, your refusal to chase has set the entire chain in motion. They will think, they will miss, they will circle back, because that's how the mind works when it loses something rare. You've done your part by stepping back. Now let time and psychology do the rest. If you felt the truth in this, drop a comment, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and make sure you subscribe so you never miss the next chapter. Stay strong. Your power is only growing.